How you doing, YouTube? I'm about to make a left-hand turn here. I'm learning my lesson. I'm trying to yield. It says yield. How you doing out there? I do a little driving to get to like the spot I normally talk to you guys at. So you guys like that thumbnail I created? It's pretty good, right? By the nine, right? I can't really read off chat and that sort of thing because I'm driving. So and then of course, there's a logging truck on the road, right? Mando, it's good to see you. I'm very excited for Oblivion 4 remastered on Nintendo Switch 2. Today's all about physical media. It's all about supporting physical media. Drop in the disc emoji if you feel the same way. Drop in the disc emoji and then the heart if you feel the same way. Light it up in the chat. Light it up in the chat. How you guys doing? Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Mando, you can hear me, right? Mondo, I got my coffee and stuff, so I'm going to be pulling off and I'll address chat. But I just wanted to talk about, and I actually don't have notes with me. I probably won't need them, but okay, good. I'm glad you can hear me. I'm going to be pulling off on the road pretty soon, so I'm able to kind of lean into chat and see what's going on, so I can address you guys. Thank you for stopping by. Happy Thursday to you. It is my Monday, day one for me, so wish me luck. But yeah, I wanted to talk to you about physical media and how much I love it, right? I grew up with physical media. I remember it was some of my greatest childhood memories. Driving home from like Toys R Us and having a Game Boy and playing Home Alone around the holidays on Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, right? I grew up with Nintendo and that sort of thing. I love physical media, right? And if you guys too, right, drop that disc icon in the heart, right? It's good to see you guys. Happy Thursday. It is about 9:30 in the morning. I just wanted to talk to you about it. Hopefully you guys like the thumbnail. It's very appropriate. I feel like a part of me is being shit. I didn't make the light. Apologies for the language, but a part of me is kind of is sad, right? My child from within is crying right now, because of what Sony is doing with the PlayStation. I grew up with the PlayStation. I've had just about every PlayStation there's been. And I remember even having the PlayStation in the Middle East and stuff when I was in the military. And I had Castlevania sent in mail. And I remember like on base, we would play PlayStation. I remember one guy had a GameCube and he was playing Resident Evil 4 before it was the remake, right? Yeah, now you're able to see my eyeballs, right? This is good lighting. I just came from the dentist, so my teeth might be a little unusually shiny. But yeah, I just it's disheartening. It's upsetting that Sony is eliminating physical media in 2028 because of the trend. I'm sure you're familiar with it. I'm sure, like, I mean, even if you were living under a rock or whatever, you would still kind of know about what's happening, right? Media and how you can't go to a store anymore to buy. Want to buy? Understand, YouTube, and this may or may not be funny to you, but why have why have physical media with like little pieces of paper? That gonna have discs? Whoa. They're gonna have physical media discs. People are not paying attention when they're driving. Little codes in them. They're gonna have little codes in them for for to buy. Like that doesn't make any sense to me, right? All right, I'm good. I'm parked. I'm fired up, right? It's good to see you. Who's in the chat now? Mando. Even though my dad was getting Xbox for my brothers, I stuck by with my PlayStation 3. Yeah, I mean, I grew up, YouTube, I grew up with PlayStation 1, 2, 3, right? I remember popping up that, I mean, that's how it started, right? That's how it started with the discs. And they used to poke fun. Remember Crash Bandicoot would hang out, right? That commercial, right? Crash Bandicoot would hang out by his like beater car and he would have, you know what I mean? He would have that bullhorn and he'd be like, hey, plumber boy. Hey, plumber boy. Do you remember that? Oh my goodness. Like that was good times. That was good times, right? And now Nintendo is like one of the last companies to like understand, right? They're understanding their you know, the people who buy from them, right? The consumer, right? They're understanding their consumer needs and stuff, right? Like they understand how much digital does make them 100% profits. It does, right? If you buy it off the store, Sony gets a cut of it, and the publisher, they get another cut of it, right? And they want to bypass that sort of thing, right? Like, come on, right? Come on, what are you doing out there? PlayStation's cutting it, right? And this thumbnail is very appropriate because I don't know the last time you checked the websites like Amazon and Best Buy and now Target, right? Target was like the last place to buy Oblivion 4 Remaster, and now like I actually checked it today. I was waiting for my appointment at a dentist, and it's sold out. Like it's you can't pick it up, right? You can't it won't be like it's you can't buy it in stores, and now it can't be sent to you. Even the shipment has been turned off. So all of it's grayed out, right? And I haven't seen any like you're more likely to catch a real life Pokemon than to be able to just secure a Oblivion for all the game, the full game on the card, right? The full game, right? And you got to be careful too, right? You got to be careful because there's that little like when you're shopping and you buy, and you know what I mean, you buy that Switch 2 game or whatever, and then you see on the bottom part of it, you see this little key icon, right? That little white strip with the key, the lock and key, right? That's not true physical media. Like that's not something you would actually own. The game has to be fully printed on the card for you to like own it, right? Um, so then as an adult, I finally got my PlayStation 5 2 years ago. Yeah, you know what I mean? And now, I mean, like the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 5 Pro, right? So the PlayStation, the 4 was the first time it had that Pro, right? Um, and I still have the Pro, the 4 Pro. I do. I think I still have the original PlayStation 4. I think that's the one Mark Cerny had. So, um, but yeah, it's upsetting. You know what I mean? Like it's taking away a part of your childhood. It's taking away something that's been constant, right? Like, well, at least at least physical media is around, right? I'm finding difficulty accepting the future, the state of digital, right? All digital, right? I mean, even Hideo Kojima is buying up media, right? And I think one of these videos that I do, YouTube, uh, besides go to like a bookstore because I want to start reading a little bit more too. Um, and I'm trying to get new ideas. I'm trying to get inspired and that sort of thing, right? So would you guys be interested in seeing me go to like a bookstore, right? Filming a bookstore and getting some books and like, there's some books and stuff that I have that I've been recommended for some people that I really respect. Um, you do. Braxton, hey, it's good to see you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then go to like we have this one place that still has actual physical media, and they have like old consoles, and like, would you guys like to see that, right? Like, you come on, like you come on over and you're like virtual like shopping with me. Would you guys be interested in seeing something like that? Let me know in the chat. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, but we're talking about, you like that? You like that thumbnail, don't you? But yeah, I'm all about the physical media, YouTube. All about the physical media. I love it. I miss the midnight releases. I mean, they went away. The GameStop that I would spend many like Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. and sometimes like the console releases, you'd have to wait till midnight, right? And everyone would get in their cars, right? And they would blaze down the roads trying to get home to like, and I wanted to own it, right? And like sometimes I didn't even download it that night. I just wanted to have it for peace of mind, just to know that I had it, right? And that it was mine, right? Like I was able to reach out and hold it, right? And take the disc, you know what I mean? And now I feel like my kids, their generation and stuff, they're, you know what I mean? They, like, my kids are like the last generation alpha, I guess, to actually have a physical disc. And there's a big movement, right? There's a big movement for media, for, you know what I mean? Like there's like a 3,000% increase in sales for physical media and stuff at places, right? So, you know, like drop a little CD icon in the chat if you're like pro physical media, right? Because that's me, right? And let me know if you're able to secure a Oblivion 4 remastered, you know what I mean, game card, because all DLC and everything's going to be on there, and you better believe I'll be streaming some of that game in August. I do have the official email and the confirmation from Target. Target was the last place, and now even the shipment has been grayed out. So I don't even think you can get, good luck, right? And you want to search. You want to search. Sometimes I'm up like really early in the morning, you know what I mean, when I got to take a leak because I'm old, I'm an old man. So I go to the bathroom multiple times a night, and it's a good time to check to see, right? Besides the Hori Pokemon controllers, right, that are coming out. I think there's like 4 of them coming out in August. Um, like that's like the green one, the red one, then there's like a couple purple variants. Like you're more likely to secure that, but Amazon's been sold out, right? So, and I don't want to accept the fact that I remember Modern Warfare 3 midnight release and Call of Duty Ghost. Yeah, yeah, and it was like, and you would have conversations with these people, right? You would form a community, and you know what I mean? Like I live in areas, and this is another thing too. People who live in areas that have like no internet or bad internet connection, and they can't access the internet to play a game. Like, come on, and these brick and mortar mom and pop shops, right? Who make their living, selling media, and they're gonna have to like downsize or put up the foreclosure and you know it's I have so many stores that I used to go to as kids, and they've been turned into other things, um like urgent allied health and urgent care and like apnea like like you have trouble breathing and this and that, right? Like these places, like they've kind of turned into storage places and stuff. Like, man, like those were the days, right? Those were the days. And now I'm like now I'm saying things like back in my day we had physical media, and it's uh Dark One X on Digital Foundry, like they did a really good thing on Digital Foundry, and they talk about this stuff, right? Dark One X is a guy that I follow, and he's I recommend Digital Foundry, and they break stuff down and all that, and so you know like they're gonna have to cover PlayStation 6. They're gonna have to cover it, but only for work. They're not really at this point. It's all digital, right? You go to the storefront, you buy something, but you don't own it. You don't. They could turn it. They could take it down anytime they want, right? There's no, you know what I mean? Like they take it off their servers, right? And that's it. They don't. You buy something, like you can buy, resell it and stuff like that if you actually have the disc or like the cartridge and stuff, right? And you can save it, right? At least for Nintendo, and it lasts a long time too, right? Like multiple decades. I believe a disc will last like 50 years before it starts to break down. And some places like the cartridges and stuff, like Banjo Kazooie 2 and stuff, right? For Nintendo like 64, right? That goes for like 150 bucks now. At these like get-togethers and stuff that they had. Um, I think Happy Gamer out there, right? That's another guy that I follow. You know, beard, he looks kind of Nordic. He might be from Canada, right? Because they're really like pale because of like where they are geographically. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, YouTube. I mean, I'll accept it over time, but ultimately I think I'm just gonna do Nintendo as my primary console moving forward after like 2028. Um, and those pre-orders that I have there's some pre-orders that I have. Oh, it's your boy Jordan. Hey, I give the utmost respect for you letting people know that you wear G-strings. Actually, I I don't wear G-strings. I'm just talking about those who do. I wouldn't be able to wear them now. I'm in my late 40s, or I'm almost like mid 40s now. And yeah, and I, you know what? I didn't I that video yesterday, I wasn't really a fan of, right? I don't even think YouTube created a short for me on that. Like it didn't do very well. Maybe it'll do well over time. I won't take it down, but yeah, like it's more for the female demographic, I think, right? Right? Because the female body is a beautiful work of art. I mean, the male body is too, but the female body is like that's the ultimate form, and they're the ones wearing the G strings and stuff, right? They're the market, and they're like, they're a lot of money, right? You'd have to actually go to a mall, right, for that, but that was yesterday. I'm not wearing the G-string. I'm lucky enough to like get to the bathroom, wearing like boxer shorts or whatever, right? But most of the time I'll just wear like boxer briefs or shorter basketball shorts or whatever, right? So if that way if I get too hot, I could just take off like my cargo shorts or whatever. I'm lucky enough to I can wear that to work. I can wear cargo shorts and and you know, comfortable shoes, and then I have to wear a collared shirt though, and I just kind of like it. It's I think it's better than the scoop neck, and I'm not a big fan of the V neck, but yeah, like, subscribe, leave a comment, YouTube. You know, let's keep growing, let's keep building, and you know, and yeah, and Nintendo is gonna be where it's gonna be for me moving forward after 2028, right? I'm finding that the pre-orders that I'm like, there's some pre-orders I was talking about, right? Like Blood of the Dawnwalker Collector's Edition, um, and Fire Emblem, Fortune's Weave. I mean, that's on Nintendo Switch too. But in the first parties, the ones that Nintendo actually owns, I've noticed that like those, like the Zeldas and the Marios and stuff, there's no game key card. You own you own it. You actually own that thing. Um, you know, and yeah, I mean, I would get the Switch too, you know, and because you can play all the Switch One games on it, and it's going to run a little bit better too. So I you know, the Xenoblades and stuff like that, right? I have those pre-ordered. There's a couple there's that collector's edition, right? From the creators who made Cyberpunk 2077 and um, what's that other game, Witcher 3, right? Those developers, they broke off, you know, and they formed their own company, something Wolves, and they're creating that first RPG, Blood of the Dawnwalker, right? Which is pretty cool. You know, I guess it's going to be out in like September or October. But yeah, that's pretty much my last physical thing, and you know, I'm like canceling my pre-orders for PlayStation, and if I can get it on Switch 2 and actually have the card with no game key card, not that little yellow or that white strip with the key icon, that's what I want. That's what I'm going for. So yeah, Mando says I had the Mario Edition OLED. Yeah, this is a good time. This is a good time to get that Switch too. You know, those sales are up, and pretty smart what they did with the Oblivion 4 remastered, right? That guy coming down is like, buy the 9. You got it. You got it. Buy the 9, right? I will be. How's my acting there? I will be streaming that. You know, and there's some other games and stuff that I wanted to stream. If you guys are interested in that, or is it? Do you guys more or less show up for the live streams, like, you know, the talking head ones, the walks, right? Not gaming, that sort of thing, or are you enjoying the content where I'm here right now, like sipping my morning coffee with you? Like, let me know. You know, um, get that Switch too if you can. Get it, right? Because these holidays and stuff, right? People are selling consoles and stuff, right, to get that stuff. So, you know, but yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for showing up. We're at 47 right now. I've been live for 23 minutes, and I'm gonna go ahead and end it at 30. So I just wanted to kind of share how I feel about how media is changing, right? I mean, I get it. Things are changing. Things are moving forward. It's not supposed to be the same, right? But I like the option, right? Like I had to buy a disk drive to attach to my PS5 Pro, right? And now the PlayStation 6 isn't going to have any, you know, the first console, you know, that I've been supporting Sony. I mean, my name was PS Loyalist for a while, right? And now I'm just gonna have to, like, you know, I'm gonna have to move on. I'm gonna, you know, and Nintendo's always been around. Nintendo, like, my relationship with Nintendo and like how I feel about Nintendo growing up, right? I grew up in the era of audio video cables, right? The red, the white, the black, you know what I mean? Those triple cables that you would plug into the audio video in the back of your TV, right? The ones with the big ears before plasma TVs even, right? When they had that huge metal ass on the back and the TVs, they were so heavy, right? You couldn't move it. You'd have to get like 4 neighbors, like 2 neighbors on your right, 2 neighbors on your left to come over and help you move something, right? Because it was so heavy and it was awkward, right? Because all the weight was in the back. Uh, Different than the flat screens and stuff now, but you know, it's just the times, right? It's things are moving, and it's sometimes it's you don't even remember that you have to breathe, you know? So, but yeah, thanks for joining me, YouTube. Thank you. We're talking about physical media. We're talking about memories that we've had, you know, growing up, right? Having Nintendo and you know, blowing in the cartridge and stuff, right? Coffee's good. Coffee's good. I mean, I'm frequenting a place now. Like I'm supporting my local coffee shop now, right? They have like cute little cards. They didn't write anything on my cup today, but so you guys want me to get into about the coffee, huh? You guys like those jokes? Yeah, they hand out the little mom and like the bigger places, they don't even know you're there, right? They could care less. They're just trying to collect a check and get home. They're not trying to make friends. They're not trying to get to know the clientele, right? They're not trying to provide any world service. They're just there to get a check, right? But these places, like you know, they open up the slot. You know, it's amazing. Uh Okay, well that's interesting. It's your boy Jordan. But yeah, this is cheers, right? I just like that conversation, that morning conversation I want to have with you, right? So cheers. And I didn't burn myself. 4 ice cubes. You want to know the coffees that I drink? I don't get any fancier than Americanos, right? That's it. And I drink it black. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, I will get a tall or like a small coffee, medium roast, 4 ice cubes. That's it. That's it, you know? And I drink this up until 12:30, and then I cut it off. No coffee after 1. I'm not trying to ruin my sleep for that night. And that's kind of shaky as it is, right? Cuz I've got issues and stuff. So, you know, on meds for, PTSD, anxiety, depression, anger, irritability, right? All that stuff. So, you know, in many ways I need to do these live streams. It's good therapy. It's good therapy, you know. And I don't have normally I show you the notes and I say I'm not here to waste your time, and I'm not. I never want to waste your time, right? Thank you guys for showing up. You know what I mean? Thank you for typing in the chat, letting yourself be known. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Enable notifications, right? Enable notifications. I got a lot of good material out there. You know, I'm probably going to be doing some Lego builds in the near future. I know some people out there, right, who want that. You know, maybe go into some physical stores to buy a Lego set, right? My experience at Legoland. If you've never been to Legoland, I could talk about that. Maybe that'll be another video, right? I got some ideas, right? Uh, Going to a bookstore, filming that. Going to one of those last physical media places, filming that, right? You know, walk with me, shop with me, shop with me, YouTube, right? Like, we can do this together. Um, but yeah, these places, these mom and pop shops, they're nice. They're great, right? They open up that window, right? And they're like, "Hey," right? And they're like performing almost. You know, like you go to a live stage, you know, and you see, you know what I mean? You see actors on the stage, right? Not on the screen, but actual like a theater, like an old theater. That's always great. They have a unique smell too, right? The theaters, you know, like where the Nutcracker and like Elf and like, you know, all that would be filmed. My wife buys these tickets and stuff, and we'll go to that. I went to the Jersey Boys one with my father-in-law because we're big Frankie Valli fans. I'm a huge Frankie Valli fan. Frankie Valli's fantastic, right? Sherry, December of 1963, right? Great songs. Um, and yeah, I just like they're amazing. These places are amazing. These smaller places, and they're happy to be there, and they show it, right? And then they give you this stamp, and you get the 10th coffee free. You get the 10th coffee free. It's fantastic. I love it. Um, but yeah, physical media, like I just, I don't want to, like, I don't know what's more disrespectful, not having the disc at all when you go to a place, or having going to the gaming section of a store, right? The electronics section, and then getting a box, and then having a code inside the box. Like, is there going to be like the saran wrap, like the shrink wrap around it still? Is that going to even be a thing? Right? Because that's fun to open, right? We all have our own methods to do that, right? Sometimes we'll like we'll open it through sheer friction, right? It warms. You know what I mean? How you kind of rub part of the corner of the box, right? And then it kind of unravels a little bit, and you can see it weakening, and then it kind of opens up. Yeah, like that's something, right? And then you get rid of that cellophane, right? And it has that, like, you know what I mean, that plastic crackling sound, and you toss that away, but it always kind of sticks to your fingers, right? I mean, that whole process, right, is going to be, no longer a thing, right? They're going to have, like, those places, how they have stage coaches, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like things of the past, and then next thing you know, they're going to have like a box, you know what I mean, with the CD in it. It's wild. I mean, they shut down so many places, right? Like the electronic stores and stuff. Um, and it still feels like it. It's just hey, Ashton, how you doing out there? I'm wrapping up. Oh, I got to wrap up. I'm over 32 minutes. I am sorry about that. But yeah, we were just talking about physical media, and how I'm gonna be sticking with Nintendo moving forward, and how I'm canceling PlayStation pre-orders and going to Nintendo. I always loved Nintendo. But I have more of an interest now in playing my backlog, right? Like Fire Emblem Three Houses and Fire Emblem Engage, and now and then the Xenoblade games, right? Like I got Xenoblade Chronicles 1 Definitive Edition for Switch 2 pre-ordered. I got the second one pre-ordered. I started in the Xenoblades with the third one. That was fun to take on vacation, right? Like it's great. The portability and stuff. It's fantastic. I love it. The grip I have from Satisfy, the Ronin series is fantastic. It's a little bit more comfortable when I'm holding it in handheld mode. You don't even have to prop it up because it has its own, like, feet, right? It's the two little feet, and you can hold it up, and then you can get on a Pro controller and you can play it, right? You can blow it up on the big screen. So all that stuff's coming, right? All that stuff's coming, but it's going to be primarily Nintendo, maybe some older stuff, older console stuff, right? Just keep it locked, enable notifications. You know where to find me, right? Light up the chat, right? And if you light up the chat later, that's awesome, and I'm gonna do what I can to answer you back, okay? At least give you an emoji, and I'm doing my best to add comments in too, okay? Um, so reach out, and support that physical media. I do, and we'll get through this together, right? We'll build a community, you know what I mean, and like we're doing. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I'm Loud Italian. You know where to find me. Um, and that's about all I have. So I thank you, Braxton, thank you, Mando, as always. It's your boy Jordan. Thank you. um yeah, and that seems to be the only people who answered in chat, lurkers and stuff out there, right? uh you know thank you for hanging out. And I'm starting to sweat, so I'm gonna have to turn my air conditioning on and drive to work. So this isn't goodbye to you. It's see you later. Goodbye is something you say to someone you don't want to see again. So to you, I say see you later. Peace.